Hi guys, my name is Kendrick Celestine. This video is going to be talking about slavery. Well, slavery wasn't really a good thing back then, and I'm not talking about the U.S. slavery. I'm talking about the world slavery. And slavery had like all these different type of cultures of slaves, how they would do their own people or the other groups of nations, and how they would treat their slaves. Well, the reason I'm talking about my point of view about slavery because slavery was a huge abomination back then. It was just awful. I can imagine the things they could have done. And I can't. Well, the reason I'm talking about this video because I came across a YouTuber, but I'm not going to point her name out. But I had to do a lot of disagreeing about the things say don't forget about slavery because slavery you shouldn't forget about it. Even I never experienced the slavery ways with what my ancestors been through, but my ancestors, I had to owe my ancestors for the names for the wrong justice that been done to them. Because I'm saying is I'm speaking out for the justice for people like my generations or generations after me to come to fruit. And I want my not just my ancestors to forget. I don't want my ancestors to forget, but I don't want my children or my grandchildren to forget my their history. Where they're going, where they're coming from. Even if I tell it the way it's the best thing I can to the best of my ability, but I know who I am as a person. Like I know who I am, what I stand for, what I'm about, what's my history. I know who I am. But I know sometimes I feel like you have that lost connection between people you love. I want to be connected to my spiritual ancestors, what they let me feel. Like, what was the like before they've been taking their cultures or spoken different languages from their own roots? I want to know that side for me, that part of me, that root of me, my spiritual journey to me. That's what I'm never going to forget. And the reason I bring this up, there's different ways, and I'm not saying slavery was a good thing. Slavery was just awful. Slavery, I'll put it like this. You know how you got all these different nations, how they own slaves? Well, there's some of the slaves will pretty much when they own their slaves, some will treat them like people. Literally like people like the same extent like I am, like this. If you were going to another nation and they bought you, they pretty much would literally treat you like property. Like you're literally nothing but property. And that's what so sucks about that. And they don't know they could do whatever they want to you. They could breed you like a cattle. They could pretty much separate your family, or they could just rape you at any time they want. So, or even have you killed. Don't feel pity. So pretty much, slave was just like if he ran away off his plantation or ran away from the kingdom, they'll try to have somebody go get him, lash him, beat him with stripes like 185 times, whoop their backs. There's this turn into jelly and stuff. It's not even a joke. And the reason slavery was so awful because I can imagine all the wicked things that could have been done to people like me and my ancestors back then. I can't forget my roots. I just can't forget them. No matter if you don't see it or now, they don't talk about racism, but they use slavery in a different way. But are we still slaves? Yes. Yes, we are. We're still slaves. And I'm not saying you think we're actually free, but we're kind of slaves here to the mind. And but the slaves, the people who want to try to own you, control you, are still going to try to do your ways. But now they try to slave you from the mind. So don't let nobody try to slay you from the mind. But but we're actually physically, we're probably free, but we're still slaves to the mind. So try to break them chains out of your mind as a slave. Don't have your mentality as a slave. The slavery system makes you behave these ways like a slave. They want you to think like a slave, behave like a slave, and do what you're told as a slave. So don't let nobody try to rule over you or tell you how to do your thing as a slave. Because if you're free from this mind, you would know. So this is my point of view about slavery. So I might make more videos later on in the future. Please like, dislike, subscribe to my channel, see what you think of the video. So I might make more videos in a bit. So I hope you folks have a nice night. This is Kendrick Celestine. Have a good night, folks. Peace.